Today, modern enterprise networks capture massive amounts of security data from thousands of individual endpoints every single second. As traditional prevention controls fail to stop modern, evasive threats, organizations have rapidly accelerated their adoption of endpoint detection and response, or EDR, to monitor this data. But owning a powerful detection platform does not automatically create operational cyber resilience. There is a widening gap between the security capabilities organizations acquire and the actual security outcomes they achieve. Mid-sized organizations with lean security teams are increasingly falling into what is known as the visibility trap. These teams invest heavily in advanced platforms, securing access to detection and response functionality that was previously out of reach. Yet deploying an EDR tool alone often creates an illusion of control. While the monitoring is active, the underlying architecture remains exposed to the velocity of modern attacks. The primary issue is that deep visibility into network endpoints generates an overwhelming volume of alerts. For a lean team, this data quickly creates operational friction. There are rarely enough hours in the day to hunt for threats, and severe cybersecurity skill shortages mean there is little specialized personnel to share the load. This friction between data volume and personnel bandwidth leaves teams struggling to maintain pace as alert backlogs grow. Daily workflows become reactive. Security professionals are forced into a state of constant firefighting, leaving no time to develop a proactive defense strategy. In this environment, accurately prioritizing a dangerous network anomaly over a benign spike in activity becomes highly difficult. This line graph maps exponential alert generation against human triage capacity. This widening gap paralyzes lean teams, resulting in systemic operational fatigue and degraded response. This operational bottleneck is highly vulnerable to speed. The 2025 Cybersecurity Assessment Report notes a 67% increase in AI-powered attacks, which are designed to move incredibly fast. This split-screen timeline matrix compares the speed of an automated attacker on top with the human defender's workflow on the bottom. The attacker rapidly progresses from initial access to privilege escalation and immediately moves laterally across the network. Meanwhile, the defender's timeline suffers delays between the initial alert generation, the start of human investigation, and eventual containment. This creates a window of exposure. By the time a human analyst begins reviewing the alert, the attacker has already established network persistence. High-fidelity detection cannot compensate for excessive exposure when the response capacity is delayed. Human-driven, reactive workflows are mathematically too slow to intercept modern AI-accelerated threats in real time. To compound the speed issue, modern attackers no longer rely on noisy malware. The threat evades detection by blending into the environment. According to Bitdefender research, analyzing over 700,000 cyber incidents, 84% of major attacks now leverage living off the land, or LOTL, techniques. This network matrix illustrates LOTL attacks, which operate by abusing legitimate administrative tools and trusted processes rather than installing malicious software. Attackers weaponize these existing, trusted tools to bypass standard static prevention controls without raising alarms. By utilizing stolen credentials, threat actors quietly blend their actions into routine, daily network activity. Because the tools being used are inherently legitimate, this technique triggers an explosion of false positives within standard EDR dashboards. Investigating each of these false positives drains the precise resources and time a lean team needs to stop an actual breach. These evasion tactics make purely reactive security postures ineffective. A defender cannot stop an attacker who appears to be a system administrator performing routine tasks. Relying on EDR alone against living-off-the-land techniques forces defenders to find a needle in a haystack of trusted behavior. Escaping the visibility trap requires proactively reducing the attacker's opportunity before an alert ever fires. The first layer of a resilient operational architecture is Bitdefender Gravity Zone Pazzer, which serves as a dynamic hardening layer. This filtering funnel shows how Pazzer dynamically reduces exploitable network conditions at the perimeter before attackers can take advantage of them. Rather than relying on rigid static restrictions, Pazzer uses AI to continuously adapt to live user behavior. This mechanism automatically limits risky actions and restricts unnecessary privileges in real time. It directly chokes off the specific pathways that LOTL attackers exploit, all without disrupting legitimate user proactivity. Dynamic hardening stabilizes daily operations by eliminating the vast majority of threats long before they can trigger an EDR investigation. Even with hardening in place, a small percentage of highly sophisticated anomalies will bypass the first layer and be flagged by the EDR system. Internal staff remain too stretched to sustain the 24/7 monitoring required to intercept these rapid anomalies. This necessitates the final architectural layer, Managed Detection and Response, or MDR, to effectively operationalize the EDR telemetry. MDR extends lean internal teams with continuous threat hunting and rapid response, delivered by experienced security operations professionals. MDR closes the time deficit, ensuring that alerts are investigated and contained immediately without burning out internal staff. Combining dynamic hardening, EDR visibility, and expert MDR creates a comprehensive, layered operational model. This closed-loop diagram models the workflow. PHASR limits the initial opportunity. EDR provides behavioral visibility, and MDR operationalizes the final containment. The first measurable business outcome is a significant reduction in risk from the specific techniques used in living off-the-land attacks. The second outcome is dramatically faster detection and containment of threats before privilege escalation can occur. The third is a greater return on existing EDR investments by eliminating alert fatigue for internal security teams. This model gives internal teams the freedom to focus on strategic transformation initiatives instead of constant firefighting. Cyber resilience relies on the operationalization of detection and the proactive denial of attacker opportunity.